Hello there, Dementia Man here, with his silly hat on. Anyway, take that off. It's getting a bit warm in here anyway. Right, this is that Hitachi again. You remember the one that I put new chip in and that? Well, I decided to have another look at it, and I downloaded a diagram of the chip pin outs and pin ins, and it seemed like pin 5 controls channels 3 and 4, and pin 10 controls channels 1 and 2. Now I know that channels 1 and 2 were working okay. That's the satellite speakers. Now when I checked the voltage on pin 5, which is that one in there, I know you can't really see it, I had trouble, and it goes through that resistor, through here, down here, round here, round here. Are you following this? Because it goes up here, around there, up here, down here, round there. Goes all around the houses to this little, I think it's a transistor on and off. And when I measured the voltages, I had the same voltage on all three sides, all three. So I thought, right, and I traced it back, and it went to this capacitor here. I replaced this capacitor with one similar, actually exactly the same, and still didn't get anything. And I wanted to remove a lot of the gunge that was on here, and so what I've done was I got my heat gun and I heated it up to soften it, and I had to heat it up quite high, and I got a lot of the gunge off of it, this stuff. When I got the gunge off, I actually had a bit on the workbench, and I thought, oh, I'll put my meter on the gunge, and I did, and I got a resistance reading through the gunge. So it was conducting very slightly, but it was conducting electricity, which this stuff was either something's been added to it or something or other. So I cleaned it off of all this area here, got them to be separate. There's still a bit on here, but the components are very small, and I didn't want to scrape the components off, so I did the best I could. Anyway, I plugged it all back in and everything, and it's now all working. Now the heat I put on this may have altered capacitors somewhere else. There's another 2 capacitors here. I resoldered them. So there's only 3 main capacitors up here. There's some tiny ones on the board. I've noticed they're marked C's. Look, there's a C132 there, and that's tiny. I can't work on stuff like that. But I suspect it was a combination of a bad capacitor somewhere still here, so it may come back. But it's now all working. But, you know, so this new chip I bought is all okay. It probably the original was okay as well, because it was something up this end of the board, and that capacitor, it may have been that capacitor, I don't think so, because it didn't work when I put it back. It's after I applied the heat and removed a lot of this gunge. I had to heat it up to over 150 degrees, nearly 200 degrees C, which is quite hot. It's not actually reflow heat or anything like that, but it's enough to actually put right. There's this cluster here of connections, this bit round here, and that goes to this big thick lead up here, which is the main lead going to the unit. It's got all the data lines, the power and everything all goes here. So maybe something here was not right. A lot of it goes to this connector here, which on the other side goes off to the voltage regulators. But when I tested all this, all the voltages were right. So it was either the gunge or a joint on here from one of these other smaller capacitors. It wasn't these ones, because I tried heating them up with my soldering iron. It didn't make a difference. It's only after I cleaned the gunge off. So if you get one of these and it's got all this this browny gungy stuff on, I don't know, maybe that my gunge had something in it. I don't know, damp, or I don't understand it. Because you wouldn't thought the manufacturers would put something on there that could later on conduct electricity, unless they didn't care. After 10 years, they want to sell you another one, don't they? Yeah. Anyway, that's it. So it's pin 5 is the on-off for the muting of channel 3 and 4, and pin 10 is the on-off for channels 1 and 2. You should have, if it's off on pin 5, you get a 4.5 volt voltage across there. It means it's off. Below 3.5, the chip comes on. That's what I worked out from the download. I hope I'm not an expert in this. I may have got it wrong. May get it, I've got to get something right sometime, haven't I? Anyway, that's it. That was just a bit of an update, and I'll speak to you all soon in the next one. Bye bye now.